We're going to talk about worship today.
Worship at home.
At home, as a family.
Yeah.
Been a family of worshipers.
Yeah. Talking about more of an attitude, an atmosphere of worship that is a part of our home, a realization of who Jesus is in the day-to-day, and that he's worthy of our worship, even in maybe even the mundane tasks.
But it really comes back to who you are. It really comes back to the fact that what real worship is, in the sense of, again, our heart, our position, our posture, all of that matters. And really, I always say you worship what you deem worthy. Your home, it matters. You're there to make a difference.
Welcome to HomeMatters podcast. I'm glad you're here today.
Glad you're here. Glad you're joining us. Yep.
Yes.
Here we are, right in the middle of the heat in the summertime, and
this is his
it.
favorite time of year.
I do not wish it away like I used to. I will say,
well,
but
good.
I'm
We're
still
making
not
progress.
still not a hot weather fan. But again, we know that you could be doing a lot of different things. Maybe you're on vacay. Maybe you're sitting on the side of a pool or at the lake or the beach.
That would be
nice.
nice.
That ain't so bad.
That'd be nice.
It's a big day in my family.
Yeah, you got, what's going on
Happy
today?
birthday to my brother, my next brother up.
Okay.
My brother Ron, 2 years older than me, my fighting friend. And
this is true,
again, if
right?
he were to
Fighting
listen
friend.
today, we were kind of tough on each other growing up. Still are probably sometime, but he knows I love him.
His summer birthday. It is right in the middle of the summer, but let me mention this.
Mine's about a month away. If y'all want to send gifts or honorariums or an offering, I'll bless you if you'll send an offering.
Oh, Lord, okay. I cannot. I won't forget. I'll remember it. I promise.
Good.
Okay, I was about to say, though, that we are in the middle of summer, but Marriage Matters Getaway is coming up September. First weekend, 4th through the 6th.
Ooh, I get those dates wrong every time.
4th through the 6th.
I was going to say 6, 7, 8, but that's actually
that would be wrong.
That's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, isn't it?
Yes, 4th to the 6th.
It is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Starts late on
open.
Thursday evening.
Charleston, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Nice location. Yes.
Love to have you to come and go with us. So go to homematters.family and get registered, or beachsprings.org. Remember, beach like a beach tree, not a beach like you're laying on the side of today. But again, hey, we're going to talk about something I think is important, and making sure we bring it into where we live and how we live.
Yes.
And that is, we're going to talk about worship today.
Worship at home.
At home, as a family.
Yeah.
Been a family of worshipers.
Yeah. Family of worship, a home with an atmosphere of worship.
You mean you're not talking about a family that's full of worshipers in the sense that some of them play an instrument and some of them sing, and that's not exactly what you're talking about. So,
not what I'm talking about.
I had somebody say this week, they said, man, seems like everybody in your family can sing or play something. And I said, not me.
You can play an harmonica.
I can play a harmonica. They don't let me do that in church, so. When are they going to do something? Maybe some of our church leadership can hear this and realize that the worship, I'm taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I see that.
We should have more music with harmonicas as part. So.
Okay.
Just put that plug in there. No, but again, us getting past that mindset, that framework.
Yes.
I think realizing that is not what we're talking about.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not even talking about, although I think it's important that, you have worship music playing in your house sometimes. I think that does change the atmosphere, but we're not talking about just acts of worship, that are going on all the time. We're talking about more of an attitude, an atmosphere of worship that is a part of our home, a realization of who Jesus is in the day-to-day, and that he's worthy of our worship, even in maybe even the mundane task. Yeah,
and it's, the thing is somehow we have to realize that we're really at a place that I don't know that it really comes back to who you are. And again, you've already said it's not an act, but it really comes back to who you are. It really comes back to the fact that, what real worship is, in the sense of, again, our heart, our position, our posture, all of that matters. And really, I always say you worship what you deem worthy.
True.
Or you worship what you see as worth.
Yeah, what has value to you, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that are in the place
that
of
seep in, right?
Well, there's a lot of things that are real value to our life. And but again, if we go back to the beginning, there's only one God. Right. And anytime we make those things a source of our being, the source of who we are, whether it's money or things or
things, or I think it can be people.
Even people, our wife, our husband, our
children.
Anytime they become the source that we draw from and that we're totally dependent on, then we have taken other gods and placed them before Him. And what we're saying is our home needs to really make sure that can I use the word priorities are set right?
That's good.
And that God is on the throne of our hearts. Again, I said it already, but it's our posture, the heart's posture that really is bent on pleasing Him. And again, what we're saying is we believe that has to happen in our home and family life. We believe that our homes actually establish and nurture that atmosphere.
Yeah, I think I said it, but in the day-to-day, minute by minute, that we are living out, I worship. I think I can express worship by the way I live my life. If the Lord, if God, if Jesus, my relationship with Him is that important to me, you mentioned the value, then I'm going to live a life that tries to align to His word, bring Him pleasure in my life. And so I think all those things, it's more, we've said it, but it's just more than those acts of what sometimes we get in our mind as worship, singing a praise song, lifting our hands. Yeah. Those types of things. We're talking more of the lifestyle that invades our home.
Yeah. I've always said that worship requires something. So again, if it's a declaration worth, it's a giving of or a giving up of ourselves. So again, it is. And I think that's what we're trying to encourage you to realize is your home really should be a home that sets the tone or sets the pace, our heart, our posture of worship, in the sense that our homes are given up to Him, to His rule, to His authority, to His compassion,
that
His mercy.
Presence is welcome in our home. That I think of it that way. That man, I believe when you walk in the presence of the Lord, you can realize it. That you feel His presence. You feel the peace. And I think our homes can be a sanctuary, if you will. Can I use that word? Where even when others come in, that there's something that they sense about that atmosphere, about your home, that maybe it's different from somebody else's.
I like the word environment because again,
that's good.
If you've got a certain environment or climate, I could use that word. If there's a certain climate, then it nurtures certain growth, right?
Right.
So again, if the environment or the climate of our home, and again, as a husband or a father or a mother or a wife, we nurture those things in our homes. Hopefully our children take that on and they realize that there's no other God. That we don't have other things that we're giving up or giving ourselves to, that we depend on, that we draw from, that those things are just mechanisms or tools along the way or gifts along the way. But again, that we realize that, man, that in that He's the source of everything. So, when you talk about climate, you've often heard the analogy, you don't grow orange trees in Wisconsin because the environment of the climate is not healthy.
Doesn't work there, right?
And that's what you're talking about, even with like worship music in our homes.
Yeah. It creates
nothing wrong with
environment.
That,
it creates, and I think specifically about one of our kids in their home. Anytime I go into their home, pretty much there's worship music playing somewhere. Even if the kids are watching something on TV in some room somewhere. And you say, well, I don't think about doing that. Well, I haven't always thought about doing that either, but I have enough to realize that it does make a difference in our home. What is, it's like us. What we're putting in here matters, sure, right? So what we're filling our home with matters. So we're just encouraging you today that whole worship, that atmosphere of worship, that recognition of God, his ways, thankfulness for what he's done in our life, that whole atmosphere and awareness is alive in our homes. And listen, I mean, does that mean that home is always just going to be,
it's that way in our
quiet
home, right?
And peaceful?
We
and
always
just
walk around
sanctuary atmosphere. Yeah, with a nice hum going in the background. No.
We don't do that all the time.
Oh, well.
I do. You don't. But again,
it would be that way in our home if it wasn't.
The point is,
right?
again,
Is
it's not just our act, because again,
exactly.
The Lord said multiple times, Old and New Testament, you worship me with your lips, but your heart's far from me.
Ooh.
And again, there's what he's saying is you can act it out, you can pretend the part, but again, if your heart's posture's not right, again, that's where we miss it. And I do believe that is something that we have to have a transformation that is taking place.
Absolutely.
That we're allowing God to work in our hearts and on the inside. It's an inside job. And what we're saying is, if you want a healthy, productive home life, then let's nurture that atmosphere. Let's create that environment where, again, it's hard. You think about it. If worship music's playing, it's probably kind of hard to be cussing at each other, right? I mean, it just changes the tone.
If you get loud enough, you just
I guess
bury
if you
it
got
all out.
mad enough, again, I'm just saying that when that is happening, it's just kind of reminding us, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason word is important in your home, in your life, is because it's reminding us. And, the whole thing of God forming his work in your life is something that if we make it something that we allow, it don't just happen.
That's right.
Right? It don't just happen.
I mean,
it's
here's that word, but you have to be very intentional
all
about
the time.
that.
We use it, but again, I think that too many people say, well, it's just God will do it. Well, God will do it. But he has really given you opportunity, and he's waiting on you to invite him or to cooperate. I use that word a lot, to cooperate with him.
I like
that. To cooperate with heaven to do his work in and through your life. So again, your home may be way away from what we're talking about. It may sound like a war zone in your home instead of a place of his presence, his peace.
As well. Okay, so we're not talking about something here that we haven't struggled with ourselves. With children, with grandkids. Just us. Sometimes that's enough, but I mean, just to create that atmosphere, to invite that atmosphere, and I think they're both kind of reciprocal, I think, in that if you create that atmosphere, maybe with outward things, maybe it is worship music, maybe, it is things like that. If we create that atmosphere, I think that helps us in our mind and heart.
Let me tell you a good way for that to happen every day.
What's that?
And that's that you die to yourself, that you prefer the other. Philippians 2, we use it all the time, that we prefer others. That we consider others more important. That means that we always are second, we're third, we're fourth, we're last, right? So in that, I think our homes, and you say, not that our home has been perfect, but it would be an anomaly it would really been a place in our home that if this World War III all the time and it's a fight, that would not be the norm. And I don't want to paint the picture here. I don't want to paint the picture like we got it all together. We're people just like you are. That's what we want you to get.
Absolutely.
That we're trying to say that it is an intentional thing that has been created, that has been responded to, that creates that place in our home. And somebody will have to take the lead in that. I think as a husband or father, I have to take the lead that, hey, we're not going to create an atmosphere. We're not going to have an environment here where we're always nasty and,
man, how
selfish.
many times have I heard it? Your attitude, You know, when
your attitude,
kids or something come in. I mean, sometimes you, as a leader in your home, you check that attitude.
That's
hey,
right.
that's not allowed in this atmosphere.
Right.
You're messing up the atmosphere that we tried to create in that. And I was saying, as far as it reciprocating and kind of feeding off one another, when you create that atmosphere, maybe with something like music or whatever, it helps keep you zoned in. But I think as well, when individually we're intentional about, okay, getting up and making sure there's gratefulness, thanksgiving, worship in our own heart.
Yeah.
You know, before we get going in the day, make place for worship.
Because our King, he reigns. Our King.
Yeah, man, he's worthy. That's what it comes back to.
He is worthy. And again, that's what Jesus tries to show us. And coming here, he said, the kingdom of heaven is near to you. And he dealt with people like the Samaritan woman in John 4, where she's coming and she's trying to, find water. And he says, I'll give you some water that you'll never thirst again. And she says, give me this water. And what he goes on to say, he said, the woman's reasoning within herself, she's thinking, well, I'm a pretty good person. We worship on this hill, this mountain. And he said, there's coming a time that you won't worship me. Neither on this mountain or down in Jerusalem. He said, but you'll be worshipers in spirit and truth. And that means that out of your heart, out of the heart, that worship flows, that out of the truth that God has established in our life, that is what orders the way we live. So again, that's what orders the atmosphere, the environment of our home, the climate of our home. So again, we just bring heaven near. God's allowed heaven to come near to us. And when his kingdom is ruling in our hearts and it rules in our homes, then again, it is a place of worship. It is a life of worship. And again, it is who we are. It's not something we put on Sunday. And again, that's the thing that I think that we make the mistake of so many times. It's not a one day a
week act.
Right.
It's the way we live our life
or twice
every day.
Show up on Wednesday.
2 times. Yeah. No, it's the way we live our life. And I'll tell you, I'll just step out and I believe this. You change the atmosphere of your home. You live a life of worship. Your home becomes a place of worship where God's presence is welcome. And I'm telling you, your home life will change.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it'll change. Down to your own attitude, to your relationships. I believe even to your children, to the way they respond, the way they act. You cannot invite God into anywhere or anything and it not change.
That's right.
If his presence is there, if he is a part of it, then it's going to change. So I would say for some of you, maybe the change that you're saying, man, something's got to give in this house. Something's got to give you. It may be that you need to open the door wide to the presence of God in your home. And that worship is not just an activity we take part in on Sunday, but it is who we are 24/7, 365.
Practical things. You got some things listed here. That are, things that we can just practically say, you know what, I can do this today.
Yeah, just
you got some of those.
Daily life, the way you serve one another. Man, you've said it a couple of times, just that, step outside of what you want or what you think you need right now and serve somebody. Serving is always an attribute that is connected with life and with Jesus and in Jesus. So,
this next one, the decisions that we're making on a second by second basis sometime, our decisions that we make, the routines that we carry out, those are things we determine. You say, well, I can't help it. We do. We can help it. We make decisions in the practice of our life and the daily routines of our life. And in that, I think that's something that we got to make sure that we don't allow our schedule to run us, but we run our schedule. Ooh. And in that, I think that's key to your life. It is tough.
That's tough.
It'll take some work and it takes some attention, but again, it's something that can happen that leads you to a life that, again, invites the presence of God. Yeah. Invites his authority, his reign, his rule in our life.
In our life.
And that
home.
Is where we worship.
Yeah. What about how we treat each other within the home, but outside the home as well? just we said it the way we serve one another. But when we talk about how we treat one another, what about the way we talk to one another? The way we respond
I think
to one
that
another.
it's easy to fall in the trap of treating your people, your persons. It's easy to treat them one way outside, and not treat them that way at home.
All starts at home.
Yeah, I think that people can make sure they're guarded and make sure they sell the right things outside.
Yeah,
they don't want to ruin their reputation, but at home they just say anything.
Yep. It happens.
And again, somewhere or another, you have to realize
it has to be an intersect there, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to devalue or dishonor this person by the way I speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's your spouse or whether that's your child,
your children,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just what about a place where forgiveness is offered? We extend
forgiveness,
mercy, yes, grace, that we're able to extend grace to one another. I say again, a home filled with worship is more, I think, than we just see on the surface. I think you really have to dig in and understand it is more than what happens on Sunday. What happens on Sunday should overflow into my home.
That's right.
But here's the thing. What's been happening all week in my home should ready me for Sunday morning.
Help us.
When we come in on Sunday, it's an extension of the house, the home
when
of
the
worship.
Big community gathers, it's a reflection.
Absolutely.
Really,
what's been going on all week.
We got to finish. So
yeah.
Again, let's round this thing up. And again,
be carriers of worship.
Yeah, and in that, let us just say this: if you want to see your home, you'll see it full, healthy. Again, not perfect, but healthy and productive and growing. Let it be a home that is at worship. Let it be a family at worship. And in that, watch what God will do when you invite Him.
I love that. It makes a difference. I'm telling you from experience, it makes a difference in you, and it'll make a difference in your home house.
Sure will. Hey. Love for you to join us anytime. Share the podcast if you would. Remember
love for you too.
The Marriage Matters getaway. Go register today. Don't wait. And again, we know your life will be changed.
Yeah, we would love to see you in Charleston, South Carolina. If not then, we'll see you next week. How about that?
Hey, remember, your home matters.